Hi friends, welcome to Erin Go Live. Today we have a tag video. This is the 20 questions book tag created by The Active Mind. I need to check out his channel. I saw Melinda at a Web of Stories, do this video last week, and I thought it'd be a fun one to do. It's kind of just a fun. I love kind of just like the inside the reader's mind kind of things about just your preferences, reading preferences, your reading life. Yeah, this is a simple one, and I thought, I'm really trying to be more consistent and post more regularly, and this might be a fun way, like getting back into doing tags because it's been so long. So we're going to start with the 20 questions book tag. So, number one, good place to start with number one. How many books are too many books in a series? I think there's not a number. It's more of a feeling, and you want it to end, like at the top. You don't want to see that, like that downhill slide where it starts getting stale and forced. So like I can't think of a book series, but the first thing that came to mind was The Office, the American TV show The Office. And they probably should have, when Steve Carell was leaving the show, they probably should have planned the ending. I just feel like it would have been a more satisfying ending than kind of just seeing like the decline. Like, it was still good. It was still better than really anything else that was out at the time. But it wasn't the same, right? It wasn't as good. And so, yeah, to be able to kind of leave on top without watching because it gets sad. It starts getting sad, and then you just like, it used to be so good, and they're still trying, but like, hang it up, sister. So yeah, it's bugging me. I can't think of a book series example. Number two, how do you feel about a cliffhanger? Generally, I like a cliffhanger. Like, it can be really, really frustrating. When you have to wait, you've read the book and now you have to wait God knows how long until the next book comes out. Really exciting when there's a cliffhanger, and if you time it right, like, okay, the next book in the series comes out in a month, and I finished, the last book, and now I have the cliffhanger, and I get to, get that itch scratched like really soon. But I like it. If you're reading books, in a series, and you're able to pick that next book up right away, or it just gives you that thirst for more. I generally like it. It could probably be overused, especially I know in a lot of like middle grade and YA. Sometimes it'll be kind of use cliffhangers as hooks to end chapters to kind of keep you going, which can be fun, but it can be overdone. So I have definitely felt that, and I can't think of any examples. Wow, you're so interesting and informative, Erin. But I have experienced that, where it's like, oh, here we go, another cliffhanger. Like, if everything is a cliffhanger, then nothing is a cliffhanger. But I do think it can be used really well. And even though I hate that feeling of like, ooh, cliffhanger, and now I have to wait 6 months, a year until the next book comes out, there's still like you revel in it a little bit, like enjoying watching scary movies. Yeah, so, all right, I'm gonna keep going, Erin. Number three, hardcover or paperback. I don't have strong feelings. Generally, I would say paperback. It's just more comfortable to hold. Favorite book, Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. This was a recommendation by a nurse at the VA, 2016. And he said, my late husband and I, we were there. My late husband was hospitalized there. And he said that we reminded him of the main characters. It was kind of like a set of young lovers. And we reminded him of them. And that was a recommendation. And I think I've read it 3 times now. And that was probably really the beginning of my really getting back into reading on a much more consistent basis than I had been for years. Number 5, favorite author. I couldn't pick just one. Ken Follett being one of them. He has a new book out. I should probably check that out. The only thing with Ken Follett books is they're bricks. They are all just doorstops, and so even though I always enjoy them, and I read 4 Folletts in a row. I read Pillars of the Earth, and then the 3 books of the Century trilogy, all in a row. And so 4 Follett books this thick, and I calculated it, and it was something like reading To Kill a Mockingbird like 14 times in a row or something like that, as far as the page lengths go. So it can kind of, just it's a little bit harder to pick up sometimes mentally, making that commitment, but I've always enjoyed them. The other one would be Frederick Bachman, huge Bachman fan. A Man Called Uva was my first. I really love the quirkier ones. I would really I really do want to reread A Man Called Uva. And then Emily Donahue. I've read a handful of her books as well, and have really enjoyed them all. So, and I think I have maybe 2 of hers, maybe 2 that I haven't read yet. Ideal book length. So, like, my wanting, what's that thing where you get, like, immediate satisfaction? 300, I would love that, a shorter book, but honestly, it's the longer books that I tend to really get absorbed in. Demon Copperhead recently, with, I think it was like 480, I want to say. The Follett books I'm talking about, these are all like 800 to 1100 page books. And yeah, it's like, as much as I don't want to necessarily pick up the tome or the Mammoth, a lot of times those end up being my favorite. But yeah, I don't know. Like 400, I'm gonna say 400. I'll say 400. But still, like, I don't know. I say that because I want to be able to finish the book. But I know that it's really like more like the 600 page book that is really going to have me enthralled. I don't know. 500? 500. Let's say I'm going to land on 500. I can't. I can't commit. But it's like, but 300, it'll be over. I don't know. Anyway, number 7, most recent book you just couldn't finish. That is Bunny by Mona Awad. Tried reading this, I think, over the summer. It's, if you're familiar with Kayla from Books and Lala, it's her favorite book. And I had heard of it from a long time. I heard a lot of other people like it. And I just couldn't. I tried, I think I was over halfway before I DNF'd it. I was just like, I just can't do this for another 150 pages or whatever. I just wasn't into it. I just didn't care enough. Number 8, book you're currently reading. I'm reading 3. I'm just about to finish Lab Girl. Actually, it's so beautiful out here. We've had the grayest, just foggy gray for months here in the Sacramento area, and so whenever we just have like blue skies, and you can't see that the skies are blue in the video, but you can see the sunshine, and it is a spectacular thing to behold. And so I think I'm going to finish Lab Girl after I record this video. I have like 30 pages left or so. And then I'm reading the short story collection, Some Like It Darker by Stephen King. And I'm listening to Sally Rooney's Intermezzo on audiobook. Number 9 is the last book I recommended to someone. That will be Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, which I read a few months ago. I recommended that to my sister-in-law. Newest book you've read, Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I listened to the audiobook at some point over the summer. I love how, especially with audiobooks, I have this where I can associate an audiobook with a particular memory. So whether it's like in my endurance athlete days when I was training for things, Beartown by Frederick Bachman, for example, I listened for a very long chunk of the book on it's like a 16 or 18 mile run in Santa Cruz. And I was training for a marathon, and I'm just running along like the cliffside in Santa Cruz listening to Beartown, and it was fantastic. And then when I saw Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, not nearly as fun as of a memory, but I can remember doing dishes in my kitchen, and like I'm looking at the kitchen window right now, and I was like, oh yeah, I was listening to that, and I was like doing dishes and maybe cooking or something. But it's funny how that just sticks with you. Number 11, the oldest book you've ever read, I believe it's Gulliver's Travels, which was published in 1726. I can't think of anything else, at least that I actually finished earlier than that. Number 12, plays or short stories. Short stories. For some reason, I haven't tried a play in a really long time. Oedipus the King, I do love, and I would love to read the three Theban plays. I read Oedipus in 7th or 8th grade. 10th grade, I read Antigone, and I haven't read. I think Oedipus Rex is the last one, so I would like to read those. But yeah, for some reason, plays just typically don't really appeal to me. Number 13, buying or borrowing books. I definitely used to be like buy. When I first got into Booktube, I think that's a pretty normal or at least common thing that happens. Recently, just kind of downsizing and trying to be a little bit more of an essentialist. I've been borrowing a lot more. My copy of Lab Girl that I'm reading right now is a library copy, but I just ordered a physical version, a paperback of it from Thrift Books or Better World Books, because I love that book. I'm going to reread that book, and I've been wanting to underline and annotate in that book, and it's a library copy, so I can't do that. But yeah, I'm definitely thoughtful, much more thoughtful about buying books now. So I'm both ways. Yes, I definitely appreciate the ability to, the library and having that resource both in physical books and then also ebooks and audiobooks, like on Libby. Number 14, book you dislike that everyone else loves. I had a really hard time thinking about this. I'm sure there are plenty more in more recent history that are just not coming to mind right now. But The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. I don't even know if is it Wow or Whoa? I'm not sure. I tried it multiple times. I tried the audiobook 2 different times, and Lin-Manuel Miranda narrates it. So it wasn't a narrator issue. I tried reading the physical book, and I just couldn't get into it. Number 15, bookmarks or dog ears. Bookmarks. But I'm not anti-dog ear. I like bookmarks for marking my page in the book. I really like bookmarks. I have lots of bookmarks, and I like to match the bookmark to the book, too, like to the cover of the book. Because if it doesn't match it, it bothers me. It at least can't clash. Sometimes it's not like, ooh, that's like a perfect match, but at least if it's not clashing. And I have lots of book of the month ones, which are royal blue and white. And those pretty much go with anything. Sometimes they do really match, but other times, I can find it is the perfect color combination, and it just works. Ooh, got a helicopter coming in. Sac Metro Fire. Helicopter. Okay. Where were we? Oh, and the bookmarks and the dog ears. So I use dog ears to where other people would use tabs. If I'm annotating a book, a lot of times I'll dog ear a page that I have put annotations on. Number 16, book you can always reread, Anne of Green Gables. I grew up on the miniseries, and that was just the most comforting go-to family time. Love that my dad read it to me over the course of I don't know how long. Bedtime stories, probably around 8, 9 when he was doing that, and then I've read it myself a few times, I think. Number 17, can you read while hearing music? Instrumental. Yeah, and I prefer to, especially if there are other things going on in the house. My parents live with me, and we have living room and family room, and there's somewhat of a partition, but the sound still travels. So especially if my parents are watching TV in their room, if I don't have music that's somewhat blunting that sound, I'm just hearing whatever they're listening to, and it distracts me. So sometimes early in the morning, I will just have utter quiet. But most of the time, I have a YouTube music, jazz ambiance, or lately I've been doing more instrumental guitar. And it's just a nice cozy scene on the TV, and then the music, but definitely no lyrics. Number 18, one POV or multiple POVs. I typically do like multiple POVs, but they do, and Melinda mentioned this in her take on this as well, is that if there's going to be multiple POVs, they need to have individual voices. So I should be able to read a few lines and know which character I'm looking at without having seen like the heading of who it is. Number 19, do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? Definitely over multiple days. I used to be much more, my attention span just used to be so much stronger. And I used to be able to read for just hours on ends with just short little breaks here and there. But I can't do it anymore. I would love to. And it is something I would like to work on. And basically having my phone away from me, like out of reach where I have to get up to go get it, is the best way that I've found to be able to do that. Setting timers, in addition to that, setting timers really helps. And then finally, number 20 is to tag some people. So I'm going to tag a handful. I think I have 5 here. So Summer at Sterling Reads, you are tagged. Beth Ann at Beth Ann Bruniga Socolar. Sorry if I did not pronounce that right. We are new to each other, so I hope I said that right, Beth Ann. Heidi at My Reading Life. Kim at Middle of the Bookmarks, and Doris at Aldi Books. You are all tagged, and anyone and everyone is tagged, of course, if you want to do this. And if you do it, tag me, and so I can see the video and see your answers to this question. So thank you for watching. Remember, every day is a great day for a great day, no matter what.